Hey, how's it going? It's going to be our last video on the upper cabinets on how to install IKEA cabinets and make them look like fancy schmancy cabinets. So it's Thanksgiving evening. Happy Thanksgiving. Somebody told me a joke one time. What's the only thing that works in an old house? The guy who lives there all the time. So here I am, Thanksgiving evening, putting on the finishing touches to the upper cabinets. So what we're gonna look at here is how do we've already put in the crown molding. I did a video on the crown molding. So that's kind of finishing the upper part of this cabinet. The lower part, really we're not gonna do anything to because you don't really see it. And we put the doors on, and eventually I'll do a video on painting the doors. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna dress up the side of the cabinet. So this is the side of the cabinet that you normally would look like. Let me show you what it would look like here. So it'd look like that. It'd just be a white melamine foil slab, which is fine. I mean, you could definitely do that, but we're going for the fancy schmancy shaker look. So what I've actually done is I bought some doors from IKEA that are the same as these, and they happen to fit over the end of their cabinets. So they give you that shaker rail and style look. They're hardwood, they're made out of ash. A little context here, and I know it looks kind of weird because some stuff's painted, some stuff's not, but those doors are the same as these doors. They're just not painted. So essentially this is everything unpainted. So there's the cabinet sides and then the cabinet doors. And then eventually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint these side doors or side caps, and everything will look really nice and built in. So we've done the crown molding along with that kind of upper panel that we added to the top of the cabinet. We've added the sides. The bottom is pretty much just gonna stay melamine foil. And then obviously the faces are gonna be the doors. So that's kind of what it's gonna look like. Here's what it looked like unpainted. And then here's the cabinet with just the crown molding on. I haven't added the door or the side panel yet. So I wanna show you what it looks like here. So this is what one of these doors looks like. The one that fits the side of the IKEA cabinets is 38 by 76 centimeters, which is a 15 by 30. I like this one because it's actually hardwood, made in Hungary. It still has the pocket holes for screws or for the hinges, but we're just gonna screw it right into the cabinet. Before I do that, let me come over here and show you. So I brought this cabinet off of the wall to put this down lighting in, and this is also a recessed pocket where I'm gonna put in my tile. So I needed to fill it in. So I just cut a little trim piece that runs from the very top here all the way down. So it comes all the way down here. And that just looks like this. It's just gonna be a little piece of trim. Obviously I'm not gonna nail this while I'm holding it because I can't do this one-handed. But basically that trim piece butts into this cap, and then from there, you know, we go into the crown molding. So it doesn't have to connect to the crown molding, which makes it a lot easier to put this piece in. And then what I'm gonna do is take this door. I'm not actually gonna attach it right now because that would be very difficult one-handed. But that door is gonna get screwed in through these little corners, and it would be sitting flush up against there. So I'm using this particular screw. It's a cabinet screw, GRK 8 by 1 1/4. Looks like that. And the nice thing is this one's already pre-painted. So when you screw it in, that's what it'll look like. So you have a little tiny screw there, a little tiny screw up there. and nobody will notice, and it will look great. So that's kind of where we're at. We're going to finish putting on these upper ends to the cabinets. As you can see, I just finished all my crown molding. So that's about where it is before it gets caulked. All those little tiny holes come from this little tiny nail gun. And so I'm using that to nail that in. And then I'll show you what it looks like once it's caulked in. So over here, I don't know if you can see it, but you can't really see the holes anymore. All that stuff gets filled in with caulk. And then eventually what'll happen is I'll tape everything down that needs to be painted. I'll paint the doors separately, and I'll do a video on that. I'm gonna use an HVLP system to paint the doors. And then once we get to the point where we're gonna paint all the cabinet pieces like trim, we'll tape everything down and just do it as one big painting project. So hope that helps somebody out, kind of learning how to put these uppers in. Next video I'll do is on putting in the lowers.